welcome to my kitchen. With Easter here, we've all, I'm sure, boiled some eggs. I boiled some eggs. I boiled a lot of eggs. That's like 4 dozen eggs, right? Because even though my daughters are 13 and 15, they still insist that we color eggs. And I'm kind of glad they do because I love coloring eggs. We all love coloring eggs. You know, it wouldn't be Easter unless Rick got to make his
Notre Dame egg.
Half and half egg and his Notre Dame egg and his dad egg where he writes dad in the white crayon and he sticks it in the egg column. So, you know, what do we all make with eggs? I mean, I've done a lot of things with hard-boiled eggs. I mean, we put them in macaroni salad, we put them in potato salad, and we make egg salad. And I've made creamed eggs on toast, which is really, really a lovely way to use eggs. But I've never shown you how to make deviled eggs. Now, last year I was doing powwow classes for a short time that kind of didn't pan out all the way. I gave one powwow class where a few ladies showed up and I made deviled eggs 2 ways. I made them a traditional way and I made them with hummus, and they were delicious, and I had a lot of fun doing that class. But today I'm going to show you how to do a really delicious version of a deviled egg. There's so many ways to make deviled eggs. As many people who make deviled eggs, there are ways to make deviled eggs. So this is how we're going to make it today.
Or chili.
Right, it's just like anything else. You know, if you make it, you make it different than anybody else does. I've cut several eggs. There's 8 eggs here. And I've already cut them in half, and I'm going to show you. I cut them different. You just usually we cut them this way, and then they look like this. You know, they look like this. Right? That's what we're typically used to, but I thought it might be fun to cut them in half this way. And what I've done is I've cut tiny little bit of the end of each end off, and then just cut it down the center like that. We'll pop out the yolk, and this way they sit flat, they don't roll around on the plate, and it's going to be...
And they're more bite-sized.
And they are more bite-sized. And these egg whites, I'm just going to set in this bag over here because...
That's turtle food.
That's turtle food. In my bowl, I have 10 egg yolks because I like to add 2 extra egg yolks when I make stuffed eggs.
I just like to tell them that both of my turtles love hard-boiled egg whites.
Yeah, that's what this is for.
They don't like the yolks, just the egg whites.
If you don't have turtles, give them to your dog. Our dogs love them. Huh, Sam? Huh? Do you want a piece of egg? You want a piece of egg?
Now the other one.
Here, Soph. I think the other one is outside.
Yeah, she is.
So, alright, I'm just going to set this aside. And look, this one kind of ripped a little. Don't worry about it. Just put it in the middle. No one will notice it. And they're not going to care. Once they pick it up and eat it, they're going to enjoy it no matter what. Alright, so...
The stuffing glue will hold together.
Right, that's true. I'm going to grab a fork out of the drawer. I've got all my egg yolks in here. For the most part, my eggs are not gray. I did 6 of these eggs I did 2 weeks ago, and I overcooked them just a little bit. The ones I did today came out perfect. I just like to run my fork through until you get it broken up just nice. Okay, now deviled eggs, you don't want them too loose. So you don't want to put too much stuff in there, okay? But you also don't want to put too little. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon, and this is to taste, of mustard powder. I put both dry mustard and wet mustard in here, and I use plain yellow mustard. I don't use Dijon, even though you could. It's personal preference. Okay. I'm also going to put just a tiny bit of salt. Like a half a teaspoon. This is going to render, I've cut 8 eggs in half, so it's going to render 16 deviled eggs. Now, of course, if you're here, we're going to use about a 1/4 teaspoon of celery seed. And we'll start with the mustard, okay? This is about a tablespoon of mustard. I'm not probably going to use, maybe I'll use all of it. There's not that much there. If it turns out too loose, it's just going to be very disappointing. This is my homemade Miracle Whip, or Wonder Whip. I'm going to hold back a little on that. I'd say there's about 2 tablespoons there. Again, I like my deviled eggs a little on the thick side. I like the filling a little on the thick side. This is sweet pickle relish. You can use homemade pickle relish. I'm going to use about a tablespoon of that. And this is all to taste. So the deal is you want to put a little bit at a time and then mix it up, because the egg yolks are quite a binder. But if you put too much, you'll know. Now that is a bit on the dry side for me. So we're going to go ahead and add the rest of this sandwich spread, Wonder Whip. And I just put up a video on how to make this. It's very, very, very similar to Miracle Whip. So similar that I think that you'll enjoy it. It's a little more flavorful, in my opinion, than Miracle Whip. It's a little on the sweeter side, but it's fantastic. If you added some pickle relish to my Wonder Whip, you'd have a fantastic sandwich spread, almost like the one that they sell in the grocery store. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this pickle relish in here. And then I'm gonna give it a taste. That's nice. Very nice. All right, I think we're good. So, the next step, let's get it out of the bowl. And you know, you can just spoon this into the egg halves. You don't have to have a pastry bag like I'm going to use. But I will tell you that having a pastry bag makes your life a lot easier. And having a disposable pastry bag makes your life a whole bunch easier. Can I help you, miss?
More egg, please.
Here.
Oh, Mama's the best.
Yeah, I know all about it. I'm just going to scrape this down here. Bring our eggs over. Okay. And I'm just going to start piping that inside the egg. And the relish may make you have a hard time. There it goes. You may have to squeeze a little harder than you anticipate. I should have put a plain tip on it. Is what I should have done. Well, see.
Hoping is that small?
Yeah, kind of is. The pickle relish is kind of squirrely.
Damn.
Okay. When you do it, don't use a star tip. You can just snip the edge off of the hang on. You can just show it who's boss. Okay. See, this is yeah, I'm going to grab another bag just really quick. You can go ahead and pause it.
That is.
We fixed it, you know, When all else fails.
Fall back and regroup.
That's right. There's that Air Force coming out in you, honey. Okay, so then we can just come back over. I never like to overdo it at the beginning because then you always end up losing. I don't know who you are.
Okay, Sean.
Try this one more time. Our neighbors are having a birthday party or something, so the dogs hear the car doors. But anyway, our eggs are all filled.
They keep setting off the alarm system.
I know. And then what self-respecting cook does not put paprika on top of their deviled eggs? I mean, come on. It's a little throwback to whatever time, you know, this is just the way we do it. And I used to have a friend whose mother would put a little slice of ripe olive right on the top of each egg, and I always thought that was so nice. And it's tasty too. So, there you have it. We've got some deviled eggs ready for your Easter table or your after Easter table, as the case may be, because, you know, it's after Easter when we always have to think of what we're going to do with all of those colored eggs that we cooked, because they don't last very long. And oftentimes, I must confess, I'll buy eggs just to color, and sometimes we don't end up using them. And I know a lot of you probably have that same thing. So you use what you can, you enjoy the moment, you make the memories, and that's what it's all about, right? So that is how I make deviled eggs, one way that I make deviled eggs. And I hope that you try it. I hope that you love it. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen today. And I hope that you all have a happy spring holiday, whether it be Easter, Passover, or whatever it is. And until next time, I'll see ya.